Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another morning coffee talks. It is Friday. I feel like every week we just have another Friday, man. And and they come quick. That's really the big thing. Every Friday we just make it and thank God we made it because there's many people who didn't make it, and there's really a lot of families who uh, lose loved ones, you know, um, and alluding to the plane crash, which was crazy. The collision, I can't say crash, but the collision that we seen in the news is sad, man. It's losing that many people, um, part of life. Yeah, but thank God we're here still, and we're able to keep pushing towards our goals, and keep being around loved ones and things of that nature. But yeah, very sad though, man. But anyway, with that being said, today I want to talk about a different mind state shift, right? And it's crazy because we hear these things when we're younger, and it's like the value versus the cost of things, right? And when you start practicing value versus always just worrying about the price tag, then you really start to understand what this really mean, and you can start to connect with it. But far too many people, including myself, still I kind of catch myself. It's changed a little bit now, but far too many people look at the price tag and they just stop there, right? But real winners, I would say, they don't just see the cost; they also see the value in things, right? Because here's the thing: when you can start to see the value of things, I think your decision making starts to change as well. And here it is. Think about this. There's a difference between cost and value. Cost is what you pay up front, but value is what you gain in the long run, right? So that's whether like if it's in relationships, business, personal growth, you know, when you start to understand this difference, it can completely change your mindset, right? And I think that even for me, it started to lead to better decision making along the way. So the thing about cost, right, is definitely temporary. Um, but like I said, value definitely brings long term value. So like I seen this video on this one content creator. He did a test, right? And the test was I was trying to see if I had a prop, but I don't. But basically, he had a bag, and he was like asking people would they like to buy the bag, and he might have asked like 10 people, right? And it was like, well, how much it costs? How much it costs, right? And he asked one older guy, and the older guy was like, well, what's special about the bag? Is it got special zippers? Like, how's the material on it? What's inside of it. He started asking questions because he wanted to see the value, not just he never asked about the cost of it. He wanted to know what he was getting if you just purchased the bag, right? And so that's the difference. Um, the thing about the cost is just an immediate price, right? Money, time, or effort. But the thing about value is the return on investment. So like the bag example, right? It just because somebody bought, let's say he was selling for $20, I forgot how much he was selling it for, but in 7 days it could have started to rip, it could have started to flake from the fake leather if it was. You get what I mean? But also the thing really quick with the book bag, oh yeah, so the guy had like $100 in it, but I think he was selling it for like 20, or no, it was like $1,000 that was inside the bag. But most people just looking at just again the exterior with it, it's like just impulse, right? So they passed on a $20 purchase, but could have made 1,000, right? And so that's the thing about always looking at cost, because it's basically like a cheap decision, and they can be the most expensive thing you lose out on as well. So, but it's more than just seeing the cost, right? Or the value. I think when we choose the cheapest or the easiest routes, this is also a thought of poor decision making, right? And it often leads to poor results because we're just looking for again that quick fix. We're looking for the instant results. So here's another example. Like buying, we know that buying cheap. Well, I can't say we know, but many people don't see that when you continuously buy cheap shoes, yeah, it's gonna save you money today, but over time they start to wear out fast, and you're just gonna continuously spend money versus you buy some really decent shoes or even just some good shoes, right? There are different levels to it, and you can make that one-time purchase, but it may cost you a little bit more upfront. But throughout time, you don't have to continuously buy them. They actually get better as you wear them. They kind of what they call it, break it in, like some good boots or something like that, some work shoes, some running shoes. And so we have to get away from always asking how much this stuff costs, and we have to start asking what is things worth, right? And so when it comes to like personal growth and things, you got to understand value when you're asking what's the value of things. It's kind of like understanding what's the value of you investing in yourself. Things like self improvement, it can often feel expensive, right? And this is one thing for me, like, man, it's gonna cost me this and that. I gotta do this and that. Whether it's like books, certain courses, fitness, and coaching. Because here's another thing. And again, here's the thing. I'm all about saving some money, right? I'm all about figuring out if I'm getting the best deal of things. But I would say this. When I started the gym, right, I was at Planet Fitness. And again, Planet Fitness is nice. They're doing a lot of things. But it was like $10 a month. And I don't want to say this is before I come out of that, I ended up going to the gym I'm in now, costing me almost like 10x, right? I want to say 5x. Yeah, it's like $50, $60 because I got my wife on a plan as well. But being around that environment was way different from Planet Fitness, right? Part of that pushed me to continuously go because I love free weights. It brought me back to when I used to play football and I used to work out, around other big guys and stuff like that. It's just that camaraderie feeling. And a lot of people in there really pushing. And there's people starting their journey and, things of that nature. Because I was one of them. But it's a way different vibe versus just going to Planet Fitness versus the gym I'm at now. But I say that to say I paid a little bit more to invest in myself, right, when it came to my fitness. And, one more example before we get up out of here. When it comes to like even Toastmasters, right, that investment, not only money, but time, right? But I'm looking at how is this benefiting me in the long run? Not just like, man, it's gonna cost me gas to drive down to Atlanta, which is like a little over an hour one way, right? It's gonna cost me to pay for the class every week, right? Everything costs, but what's the value in it, right? The value is me becoming a better speaker, on camera, off camera, in front of people, right? Because I have long-term goals with that. So I can't just be like, well, I can, but it's not a good investment to be like, I'll just do it on my own without the coaching, without other people seeing different ways of speaking. It's just invaluable. And the networking part, right? So I think you have to figure out we have to figure out what are the best things that's worth our investment versus just the cost. And I think when you shift that mind state, it shifts your decision making as well, not just financially, but personally as well. And that's what I'm starting to understand because I've talked about it multiple times at this point about the language of successful people in the way they think. This is how they think. They don't always look at the cost of things. They look at what's the value and what's the benefit that they're getting from it. And then they look at the cost. But you have to start looking at things as far as value proposition and what you're getting from it, how it can bring value and, benefit to your life. So just think about that one thing in your life where you focus on the cost versus the value, and you was like, man, what was the outcome of that? What was really the outcome? But like I said, man, be a winner out here. Don't always, and I would say a lot of winners don't ask how much stuff costs, right? They ask what's the value. Shift your mind state and just, invest in things that truly matter. And I think it's helped me transform my life, and I think it can help you transform your life as well. But anyway, hey, drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about the video. And, is that something that you feel like your mind is shifting towards, or maybe you wasn't even aware of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hey, subscribe to The Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. Also, if you got any value from this video, hit that like button. And hit the notification bell as well, because again, we're dropping videos like this every single day. And until next time, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Y'all have a great day. Peace.